adventure in the year 400 billion with Commander Hulk and Cadet Stimpy. I mean, the great Mattsby and Tracker. I'm Stimpy in this analogy.
Have
you watched Ren and Stimpy, the Ren and Stimpy show?
It's been years. I can't even remember it, to be honest.
It holds up. It holds up. It's so great. They've got this great 1950s kitsch to everything, to the music and the graphics and everything.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody out there in X World and YouTube land. We're so happy to be here. You know what? I don't see a lot of people. There's not even anyone saying hello yet on YouTube. I think there are people traveling, and there are people at their destination, and people are sleeping in after partying with their friends and family last night. And,
we had quite a bit tune in yesterday since we were gone on Monday.
That's true.
They were tuning in, so maybe just one day is good enough, huh?
And maybe yesterday I just said like, maybe I shouldn't watch the markets the rest of this week.
Yeah.
And I don't blame you. Yesterday was pretty ugly. Hey, there we go. Good morning, Jules.
Yeah, good morning.
On my extreme, good morning, David and Elizabeth and Jordy and Mary and Homer and Jacob. So many. I've got a bunch of new faces here. Anyway, good morning, everybody. So, Matt, go ahead. Let's get started.
Yeah. So, SPY had all-time highs yesterday, and nobody even talked about it. It was so sneaky. You can see the daily chart. It closed basically at all-time highs, and that was just proof that back test of the 1.618, the 585 was support that I've been talking about for eons now. And so this has potential now to continue on to the 700s, right? It really does. So I think things are just getting started. And with QQQ, same thing. It didn't do all-time highs, but it did have that big back test of the 1.414, the 497 I've been talking about for a long time. And now it's even back above all the indicators of the daily Ichimoku and the weekly Ichimoku. And it looks like it could be ready to continue towards the 548s. And the IWM did hit the previous all-time highs. It actually wicked above this week. So it did go into all-time high territory. But so far, we're not getting a close above it. But that's going to be the goal, guys. 244.46, close above that. That is all-time high weekly candle close. And you know what that means? That means good things to come for all the markets. So whatever panic we're seeing, it doesn't really matter. And just looking at Bitcoin here, it did a perfect back test of the 91,158 that I've been talking about. So it wicked through it. It went down to 90742 and it held. And what does that mean for like MicroStrategy too? Well, MicroStrategy also, whoops, not that one, MSTR. MicroStrategy also hit its weekly support too at the 1.414 fib, the 339.68. I know yesterday I was like, oh, maybe it's not going to go down there, but I guess it just followed Bitcoin right directly down to that level. So it looks like support held. It has really good potential to hold still. And the reason why is because it's also the 45-degree angle of my GAN and that level. So I think what we're seeing is a true breakout for MSTR. Just a back test. Maybe the back test is over, maybe not, right? But it doesn't really matter. It can go back down there. It can just build a base on there. But my next target is still going to be back up to the 1.618 up there, the 542. So not going to say that's going to happen immediately or this year even, but I think it will get back up there and just going to follow Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes back to 100,000, then I think MSTR will also go back to the 500. So it's the beginning of kind of a recovery for MSTR. Perfect hit of support with Bitcoin. So no fear out there. I was doing the buying on MSTU yesterday all the way down until it got down through the 339. So things are looking really good for all the markets, really. Back tests of support look completed, and things should be able to calm down soon.
Indeed. Why can't I find my mess? I'm looking at my MSTR and like whatever I did with my chart is not here. So weird. I'm so embarrassed.
Well, I'm mad that Palantir went to the Nasdaq because then TradingView deleted my chart, and then I had to start a new chart for Palantir. Oh, I wish they would have stayed on the NYSE or something.
Screenshots there, right? Well, you know, I'm sure you did it with typical great Mattsby perfection.
Do I think Bitcoin will go lower? I see that question. No, I don't. I don't think there's a need to, and I think this is common mentality, common psychology of a retail investor. Price gets to a support and they think it's going lower, and then if price got to that support, they think it's going to go lower, and if price goes to that support, they just always think it's going to go lower, so they never buy. So I think in a bull market, when it gets to support, you just buy, right? Not financial advice, but this is support, and I was expecting 91,158 for a while, and it finally back tested, and it had a chance to maybe try to backtest this 83,000 right there, but I think just these three bullish engulfing candles kind of proved otherwise. So I don't think there really is a need to go back down there. I think people that are expecting it are probably going to get left behind, and the opportunity might have been yesterday, right? So I think it really has potential now to build a base at a higher level to continue higher.
And Matt, if you just show my Bitcoin chart here real quick on the 1 hour chart. Any of you can put a moving average 75 on your chart. Typically what happens is it follows the Ichimoku cloud really well, like where the clouds print. I'm turning it on right now. Yeah, see, look, here's my moving average 75, and look and see what the clouds do. So even if you don't have the Ichimoku as an option on whatever platform you're on, you definitely have the moving average 75 as an option, probably. Definitely, probably. Anyway, once Bitcoin fell under the moving average 75, this is supposed to be like up here now. This is right there. It did fall down, and it checked all the way back to the support. Remember when we were in this triangle? One A, B, C, D, E, and then once it broke out, it did make a significant new high over where it started the triangle. Notice in these triangles, the biggest moves are always the initial ones. They're sort of like, it's like market can't decide what to do, then suddenly it just picks a direction, goes really high up, and then immediately goes really low down. But it makes a new higher low here, and then after that, everything else is just attenuation. But eventually, the bulls took over, and once it broke out of this trend line, actually, it's this trend line right here. Once it breaks out of the trend line and back tested, it runs to this new higher high, and in this case, it did a melt over where, because 100,000 was just too strong psychologically to break through on the first attempt, they tried and they tried, and then they failed, and then they died. And it was just a melt over, but right back to the support level that it had established during this previous triangle. And now we have a new triangle. And here's where the cavalry came in, just at Matt's support test of 91,100, just a little bit of a wick through, a little bit of candle body, but not much. And yeah, now we're testing this triangle. It might just not, it may not even go. Let's see. This is the triangle we have right there. This little wick down there looks really strong, and price could just keep going up today. It's possible that this could be your triangle, and it actually comes down during the day today. It's even possible for this thing to go flat, well, right to the, like a perfect support of his 90,100, but don't worry, it'll just, this is a bullish triangle. And so this is the triangle we have, and it looks like it wants to break out. Once it gets back to the moving average 75 and get over it and backtest to it for support, it will take off, and we will get that God candle that will take us over and past $100,000, test back to it, and then move on higher. Yeah, and Cat's got a target 106,000 for his. I think it was a 4 or 12-hour arc. I can't remember. I didn't actually have his chart. I just like tried to duplicate it based on some settings he gave me, but I think I did it in the wrong scale. Anyway, Matt is the. I take my hats off to him. He is the GAN master. He's the GAN grandmaster, really.
GAN grandmaster.
Every one of you, if you are serious about making money, just subscribe to his Patreon. It is amazing. He would have saved me $100,000 this week if I had more care. If I hadn't gone on a plane ride and been in Nevada for a whole day. And
if you would have followed what we were doing in the Telegram group, yeah.
I could have saved myself $100,000 of pain. I'm underwater $100,000, or I was yesterday on MSTX. I'm not worried, not at all. It's going to go back up. I just have to be patient. And that's the great thing with the ETFs. They're like the power of options, but you're not, as long as you don't go stupid leveraged, you're not forced to sell. You can hold it as long as you need to.
Yeah. Like they are managing it for you, so you don't have to worry about the time part of it. But there is time decay if it just stays flat or goes down, though. So
You keep rolling them options.
But yeah, you want to do MSTX?
I want to, but it's not. Like I said, I really am. Oh wait, this is your. Okay, wait. This is mine. It should be on here. Ah, here we go. Good. All right, so here's my MicroStrategy. My MSTX chart, the Defiant daily target 2x long MSTR ETF, and you can see that the longs are coming back in this morning. This is a 1 hour chart, so this is since pre-market this morning. We got the stick save. I was just telling Matt this morning, my good buddy Zach Manis talks about the stick save, and I always thought it was like when you're in an action movie and the airplane's going, they're like the bad guys fighting with the good guys, and the plane's careening into it's going to hit the mountain or whatever, and then Sylvester Stallone like punches out the pilot and grabs the stick and pulls it up, and they just narrowly miss hitting the mountain. I thought that was the stick save, but Matt said, well, maybe it's hockey. It's like, oh, I had it wrong this whole time. Yeah. Anyway.
I think it's a hockey reference, but
I think you're right too. Now that you say it. So MicroStrategy is like, just diving down here, or MSTX dove down here, but we got the stick save right here at the 76.4% retrace. That's going from the 224.93 top we had. Oops, don't look at that. Down to the 40.89. Way down here was my wave 2 start. So this is like wave 1, wave 2, and then all these fit extensions. Anyway, so that was a complete, like I missed this count because that must have been, this was 3, this was 4, that was 5, and this is A, B, C. So we're done. We're completely a reset. We're at the bottom, but guess what? The great news is that now it's an entirely new wave start. So now the beginning of history is the wave start, is wave 0. This is wave 1. This is now wave 2. And so everything just gets bigger and bigger from here. So my 764, my 76.4% fib is 235.92. That'll give us a slightly higher high than the highest high we just had. And that's going to make my position at 132.05 look really good. I'll have to sell, get back in somewhere. I hope it goes to 38.2. Could just do 50%. I'll have to watch it really carefully. Maybe I won't sell all of it. Anyway, the wave 3 goes to 365 with a test back to the 100% at 285. And the wave 5 for this larger scale setup tops out at $575, which is going to make my $132 look really, really good in the future. And just trying to eyeball it using this hyperbolic tool, I estimate about 87 days to get there. Just 3 short months. That's calendar days. It's not trading days. So in 3 months, maybe if this hyperbolic anyway. Word. DXYZ. I saw someone ask about DXYZ. This one, no changes. My chart is exactly the same as I've had it ever since we hit this wave 5 top here at $50, and with a wave 2 bottom at 26.60. All of my subscribers have access to this chart anytime they want. It's in my spreadsheet tool. There's a hyperlink that takes you right to this picture. Yeah, and you can take a screenshot for yourself because I love you guys, all of you guys watching the show. Thank you for being a fan and watching us every morning. DXYZ, that's Destiny Technology. They have exposure to SpaceX. It was about a 15% exposure down here. Then they reported like in the summer, like 23.5%. And I guess it just keeps getting bigger and bigger as it grows, as they get more investors. I don't know. It's a closed-end fund. You can't really know except what they report. But 56.65 is my next target for DXYZ. And we're down here at 43.41. My cost is, I have 4,500 shares at $36. So it's already doing pretty good. This might just take a little while to get up to the wave one. Yeah, I'm not expecting a wider expanded flat because it's already taking a little bit of time to get there. As you can see, the moving average 75 is acting as support on the way to get there. So just watch your own moving average 75 if you're trading this, and just make sure, don't freak out if it dips below like it did, right? You can see right here, it dipped below the 75, but it was just a wick, and then it's back up again. So don't set your stop losses too. If you can, just do mental stop losses. Real stop losses get rated all the time. That's both Matt and I have that same opinion, I think.
Yeah, at least in a bull market. Stock markets, they are just liquidity for the bigger money to steal your shares. So I don't do that, but if it's a bear market and I want to do some buying, then it doesn't hurt, because I think the potential to lose support is easier than in a bull market.
Yep. Oh my gosh, Dan Crab bought MSTX yesterday for $76.
Yeah, that's
awesome. Yeah, a lot of you that follow me don't buy exactly when I buy a little bit after I buy, because I'm usually hot on the trigger. I'm trigger happy. I am trigger happy, I'll admit it. Let's see. Oh, Dan Kraus says, morning guys, just got here, can you start over? Ha ha ha.
I'm just gonna do a couple more crypto before we jump into like maybe Palantir.
Sure.
I see somebody is requesting for DAG here, and I do like this now, especially it's battling the 200-week moving average. This is the week to close above it for the first time in the history of the chart. So I mean, this is getting pretty bullish here, and I do like it. It held the symmetry of this for months right down here. Everybody's like panicking down. No, it just held the symmetry perfectly, and now it's going back up to the 45, maybe 12, 13 cents, and then the orange level is at 24 cents, and then after that it kind of has clear skies to go. So it is getting more and more bullish, and I do like this chart. And I've actually always thought it was just trying to find its symmetrical support, and after it got rejected up here, it just wanted to gravitate a little bit low. That's sure enough what it did. So high time frame, this was never a bearish chart though, because you can just draw a line basically right here. All this previous since breakout back test, right? It was never a bearish chart ever. But people thought, I know the narratives out there, they thought it was just going to go to zero or something. But this is something you want to look for, like something that a high time frame that was a price resistance breakout, back test of a support, super bullish, right? So tried to tell people that before, but the opportunity was at 2 cents. Now it's at 8 cents. Like this is a very big jump, a 4x, right? So I think it has potential to go, but my focus is this Sunday night to close above the 0.082622.
Oh yes. Hey Matt, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
From one chart nerd to another, do you also get goosebumps every time like a new 200 moving average is born?
Yeah, or like a baseline or any kind of new formation of something, it's good.
Just like you look on the chart and like this is sort of a relatively young stock. So the 200 moving average, your purple line there, doesn't even appear until after June of 2023.
Yeah.
Like on that day when I can see, what's this weird, oh, it's the moving average. It just got born.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Happy birthday, moving average.
And I'll just jump into, I know people want to see Tesla, so I'll just jump into Tesla. And there's no change. Right? Still, I'm watching this 347.58 by Friday, and I think it still has potential to go there. And I keep mentioning the Bollinger Band because it's still trying to push it up as support. So 340.88 is the top of that Bollinger Band. Price is currently above it, which currently means that price is still pushing up the momentum. So I think as long as price stays above the weekly Bollinger Band, it has potential to definitely close above that 347. So that's going to be the target. And just ignore the day-to-day stuff. Just let's focus on the weekly candle close to see if it can close above that 347.
And a great cat trick, if you have access to Bollinger Bands on your chart, look at the bottom Bollinger Band and watch it just arc away and down. That tells you how powerful the move is. If you just couldn't already tell from the top of the Bollinger Band and where price is in relation to it.
And like it keeps going down to that 330 zone, keep making people feel that it's going to just tank and go lower, but it keeps holding, right? You can just look on a 4-hour chart here and we can see 4-hour candle after 4-hour candle after 4-hour candle. Look at that. It's just staying in that zone. it broke out and it's literally building a base at a higher level up here, and it's not even. It tried to go down further here, but that was just a pre-market fake out. I think it was pre-market, right? Yeah.
But Matt, after going up 30%, it's down 3%. Why is it crashing?
Yeah, why is it crashing? Yeah, week over week, it's only down 4%, so it's still fine. But my goal, it should be to close above the 786 to have 2 weekly green candles above it. Not well, it wouldn't be green; it'd still be red, but 2 weekly candles above it to close, and that would be amazing. So that's my focus for Tesla.
And Matt, just to remind everyone from yesterday, if you weren't here, it's a holiday week. It's a United States holiday week. It's a Thanksgiving week. Lots and lots and lots of people take off, including bankers and whales and whatnot. And so there are fewer market participants, which means more volatility, which means you get these crazy price moves because there's nobody there there's not as many people there to buy the dip as usual. So if you're trading this week, oh my God, buy every dip you can. This is great. I'm gonna have to put a calendar alert for every year to remind myself to hold cash into the Thanksgiving week, which I didn't do this year. But what was I saying? Don't overtrade this week. Don't sell support. Oh my God, please don't sell support.
Yeah, and that's what people were doing with MicroStrategy and Bitcoin yesterday. They were selling right at support, and people were losing confidence because it's human nature to think that once a support level is hit, that it's just going to break. But it's not always the case at all, and it's kind of proof.
Some of them are stop losses that they left and then got on the plane. So they're just left their shares out there to be harvested, to be rated.
Yeah, I'm really against stop losses. I know a lot of people love it, but since I love accumulating in bull markets, I love the dips to buy. I cannot buy enough sometimes. So
choose your moment to sell. Don't let the market choose for you.
Yeah. And with that said, do you have a Tesla chart, or there's Palantir as well?
Okay. I'm the Tesla tracker. Why wouldn't I have a Tesla chart?
Well, you got a new laptop, so.
It's the same old chart. The TradingView saves it all in the cloud. By the way, guys, this is the Black Friday week sale for TradingView. You can get the best deal on TradingView all year long. I think the price is $270. It's like 60% off, or 40 or 60% off the regular annual subscription. If you use TradingView, renew your subscription this week. I put a link out if you want to get another $15 in credit by using my link. But anyway, get trading. If you want TradingView, it's the industry standard. It's what all of us gurus and whatnots use. Matt uses it. I use it. Kat uses it. Everybody that we know uses it. All right. That being said, it looks like Tesla is inside this triangle configuration where it's flat on top. And whenever you see a flat triangle, that just means that they hit a resistance, they run down, check support, they get up, they build a support zone, they hit that same resistance again, send it back down, but they can't get a new lower low. Eventually, this thing just busts out of the top of this triangle. And my next major price, everyone is looking at 414.50, the all-time high for Tesla, to be the next test. This larger degree, based off of the 101.22 low and the $300 high and the 138.80 low higher low after that, that predicts that 412.53 is where price will careen away. It'll asymptotically approach the all-time high, not make it the first time, just like Bitcoin didn't quite make it to $100,000 the first time, and then fall back and do another test of support. And look, this looks just like Bitcoin did. It built a base. If it comes up here, can't reach the target that everyone's looking at, and there keeps selling off into it, it does a melt over. Let me use my little pen here. It breaks out. No, pen. I want the pen. Thank you. It breaks out. It can't quite get to the fourth. It keeps getting sold, pre-sold, and then they can't, and then it falls over. But then it has to look back, and it looks at all the support here and says, okay, that is support, and then it runs back up higher. So that's how you get this wave 4 all the way down here at the 100% fib level. Yeah, I like that a lot. 1382 to 100. So we'll just be on the lookout for that. And then This chart, the 2382 is $610.60, and I've already got out there my my prediction for. Oh my gosh, I couldn't find it the other day. I think we'll hit a really nice new all-time high in the summertime, like that July, like last July. Remember how everything ran up? I think we'll get a great summer move again like that this year. All right, that is it. Don't worry about maximum pain anymore. It's just like so wrong every month now. I mean, every week now. Max pain's just going to be wrong for a while. And that's my Tesla chart, basically. For today, I think it should just keep. Tesla and Bitcoin like to move similarly to each other. That's why lots of times I've had them side by side. Right, what's next on the docket?
I see Nvidia and Palantir. I'll just do Nvidia first. Nvidia, yeah. So it's got rejected by the resistance level. It finally hit that 2.272 fib, the 152.38. And now it's going back down to the conversion line. So this is a breakout, got rejected by resistance, and doing a back test. So this 134 right there has a good potential to hold. So I think if it does there, which it could probably touch there today or this week, then that has a good possibility to hold. So it's just in a range, right? Just in a trading range. And can it go back down to the 120s? If that conversion line breaks, yes, but that still would just be another back test, like a deeper back test. And this is still just in the same range to eventually go higher. So this chart is still bullish, but there is kind of like a rotation going on with IWM trying to break out into all-time highs. So, and some growth stocks starting to do well. So this is just going to be some patience for this. And for Palantir, I'll do that one real quick. And no change at all. We can see that it is still right in the weekly Bollinger Band as well, 66.19 and 66.57 is pre-market. So we got the back test of the 1.414 at the 61.18 already last week. Just like you saw the Bitcoin back test yesterday, to hit the same 1.414, right? They're doing the same thing, guys. And people thought Palantir was going to break lower, just like they thought Bitcoin was going to break lower, and both didn't do it. So if Bitcoin follows Palantir's behavior, then probably it's going to go on to the 1.618, and the 1.618 for Bitcoin is 102. So Palantir is looking like it kind of still wants to gravitate towards the 1.618 before any other kind of retracement happens.
So strong. It's just doing so great. All right, I got no Palantir. I got nothing for that. So just follow Matt. Don't follow my trash Palantir charts. I've got it possibly could extend to $77.77 before it wants to finish the wave 5.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I just like Matt's 1618 better.
And
it's $69.
Yeah, 69.
Just remember 69 and 69.
69.15 or something. Yeah. I have a GME request, and I've been showing the 4-hour chart a lot for GME, so I'm going to show it right now. And check it out. So we can see the symmetry of this all from a 4-hour chart back in April of 24. We can see this 45-degree angle was a support, broke down, went to the blue angle, broke down, and flipped it to a resistance, and was a resistance, and was a resistance, and was a resistance, and was a resistance. Oh, it broke out, and it almost back tested that resistance level. So I'll call that a successful back test for a possible continuation higher. And as long as it can build a base now above this blue angle, then yeah, it can go into the mid 30s. It can go even to the 40s, and the next level again does sit at 46. So GME is looking finally more and more bullish, and I think it has the opportunity to go higher. But the first thing to overcome, I think, is kind of like this zone right here, where there was a lot of wicks in this area, like a lot of big wick here, you can see. So I think overcomes like these 32, 33 zone, then I think it's kind of clear to go.
Very cool. I got the same GameStop chart I can show everyone. It's the same chart I've drew since it did some crazy stuff back in in July of 2024. So since and then here's the August 5th and all this. So basically off of this wave 1 top, wave 2 bottom, it's never made a new lower low than 1757. So everything's holding up. just like Matt said, 46, I think, on his chart for. I've got this 382 at $44.33. So it'll be resistance the first time, but once it can turn 44.33 into support, then it can go on up to 71.09 with a back test of 44.33 for support. And then if it does hold there, it can move on higher to 114.51. I'm sorry, this would be 114.38. And then back to 100% at 87.62. And then if that holds and the whole thing doesn't collapse before then, a lot of times, sometimes the thing's going to collapse. I call wave 2 and wave 4 the max Q events. This is like the maximum stress on the liftoff. And if anything's going to go wrong, it's going to fail here or here. But if 87.62 doesn't fail, this goes up to 184.43. So GMA just nuts. Like, get your lotto ticket. Buy just buy a couple. Just for fun. I wouldn't put my life savings into GME by any means. It's just not that predictable. But this is what could happen if it were acting predictably. All right, what else?
There's a RXRX, I think.
All right. Let me just say real quick. Kim Appreciates Life says, when would you buy TSL again? I would buy it now. If you weren't in it and you wanted to be in it, I'd get it now. I just hang on to it.
TSLL, it gave a great opportunity when it went back down yesterday to 2026 because the back test of the $20 level was essentially the conversion line, so on the daily chart. So yeah, I mean, it gave an opportunity. It's been giving the opportunities day over day, actually. But the resistance is still kind of around that $23 range. So just it's got to break that. And Tesla's got to break above the 258 as well. So before it really starts the momentum.
Yeah, here I've got the TSLL. The wave 3 is done. Wave 4 back tested. Could it fall over and do a extended wider flat? It shouldn't. The wave 2. No, this wave 2 is kind of short. It shouldn't. This might be all of the wave 4 silliness. But I've got TSL going to 39.64 with a possible extension higher, but 39.64 is where I'm looking for TSL next. All right, so go ahead, Matt, with your RXRX.
RXRX recursion. Okay, let me switch screens here. So it broke down, guys. It was a breakdown on the weekly chart and the daily chart, on every chart. So I was watching that blue angle for a while, and it broke down. And now it confirmed it as resistance with this wick that it's going on. So do I like it? Not really. Maybe if it went down to the orange, it could be a better opportunity, the 550s or so. But yeah, it's just not a bullish. But it is trying to find a higher low from this one right here. But this was a support, guys, right here. This red candle, green, like you can just draw a line right here. It was a support. You can maybe go a little bit higher because it include a little bit more of those bodies of the candle right here. This was a support zone here, and it's wicking above it to as resistance too. So it's kind of like double confirmation of resistance. So to get more bullish on it, it really needs to start closing above $6 again, and maybe 609, 610. Just to get back up to the conversion line at 706. But this chart is something that I think there's better opportunities elsewhere, right? Not right now.
Yeah. If you wanted a lotto ticket, I can show my RXRX chart. I have like a slightly different take on it, only from my standpoint. Where is my chart? There it is. It did make no. Oh. Yeah, it's still its all-time low is 454, and it made a higher high and a higher low, and then a lower high and then a higher low, which means it's sort of in a triangle from here to here to here to here. It's on the bottom side of the triangle. So if you wanted to lotto ticket some stuff, like I wouldn't put a whole lot of money in this, but if you want to lotto ticket this, it eventually, if it doesn't crash and burn completely, if you don't lose all your money, then it does have a nice upside as the alternative. Where price from where it is right now, would want to go to a retrace of the all-time high. So all-time high was up here at 42.81. So just an ABC retrace takes you to 33.2, 618. So just to the next, if it goes back to 3.2, that's 1905. That is 220% higher than where price is right now. So again, small positions could pay off, but Matt's right. There's better charts out there overall. So that's my RXRX. Somebody said
we got Square. I think we got time for one more. So if you have a block chart,
we got Square, and then you got Square. One day, no, let's do 1 week. You have an impulsive wave potential here. So after you built on, okay, right, wave start, wave 1, wave 2, now we're in wave 3. Wave 3 sub 1 looks like it's been reached. So as my TA goes, this is a sell. Like you want to sell half your position to take some money off the table, and then look for support back down here at 70. Let me bring this closer to the right side. The wave 2 is going to find support near 73.57. Then next is wave 3 up to 122.18, back to the 100% at 103.61, and then the 2.382% at 170.79. Feel free to take a screenshot there. So you are here, and the wave 1's done as far as I'm concerned. Could it go higher? It could, but typically this is where it peters out. And I do see it down here in the MCDX Plus. There's slightly yet less. Well, yeah, I mean, it's still early in the week, but there's less volume too. I don't know. You can see like the red candlestick is lower than the previous week. That just makes me think, oh, some divergence, bearish divergence possibility. And you can see the moving average 75 right here, this orange line. By the time it reaches 73.57 is exactly the time that I think that price will touch it. So it's kind of cool. You can kind of watch how the moving average 75 comes up to meet price and price comes down to meet it. And I bet you my bottom dollar right here at 73.57 is where they touch. And that's my square. Matt, how about you?
I think I'm just gonna end it right there. I kind of agree with that. It seems like it needs to go maybe down first before it goes up. So it could be time for a little bit of a correction for it, but still very bullish chart in the high time frame.
Yeah, my usually what I learned to do and was taught to do, you sell half your position into the wave 1 top, and you let half of it ride down to wave 2. You let half of it go in case the price keeps going, and then you can kind of keep getting more profits. You can sell more than half as if it does look like it's going to go back to the wave 2 bottom, but then you can't be sure about getting exactly the bottom. Maybe it stops at the 382 at $73.57 instead. So keeping some in position is just a better bet at that point, because it should go higher to 122 out later. You just kind of want to start DCAing into the dip. Dollar cost averaging.
With that said, you guys, if you celebrate, have a happy Thanksgiving, and we won't have a show tomorrow because markets are closed. And I think we'll be back Friday. Do you want to be back Friday, or you want to take the day off Friday too?
I kind of let's plan on doing Friday.
Okay.
I think
we'll play it by ear. Right now we'll plan on it, but if we don't, we don't. Yeah, we'll see.
I don't go shopping on Friday. We'll let you guys know Thursday night or whatever if we change our mind, but I think we'll probably do Friday. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Happy Thanksgiving to all those Americans out there who celebrate it, and anyone else who just like Americans out expats. Expats too celebrate Thanksgiving. You guys enjoy. Have a great holiday.
Yeah. See you guys.